Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Bond Headquarters. My name is Luke, and if you are watching the 2026 Winter Olympics, you are watching the most James Bond Olympics that you will probably ever see in your lifetime. Why am I getting a little animated about this? Well, it's because I'm really excited. This is exciting. These Olympics are in Milano Cortina. So two cities. This is the first time, I guess, the Winter Olympics have ever been co-hosted by two cities. But this is literally the most James Bond location Olympics there could be, in all honesty. Cortina, because in For Your Eyes Only, Cortina, you spend, in the movie, you spend over 20 minutes in Cortina of that movie. You have one of the most amazing ski chase scenes ever in any movie ever made. It's just beautiful, the whole area of Cortina. And in these Olympics, they've even rebuilt and are using some of the same things that was used in For Your Eyes Only. Now, okay, so do you remember, and I'm sitting off to the side over here a little bit because I'm leaving room over here. I want to be sharing photos, film, things like that. So there was the scene where Bond goes and he meets Luigi, and is it Ferrara? And so they meet, and the girl is ice skating. She's she's going to be an Olympian, and she's ice skating in the rink. It's outside.
My protege, a sure winner in the next Olympics.
Well, that rink is being used in this Olympics, but for a different event. And it looks a little different. Now, there's footage of this from back in the Olympics, back in the 50s. I think it was 1957, I think it was, where they had the Olympics in Cortina. So there's footage of that rink. And then it was in the 80s that For Your Eyes Only was made, and they used that rink again. It was in 1980. It was because of the Olympics held there in 1980. That is why there was kind of a lot of interest in that area and in Olympic type events. That's why there was so much skiing in the movie, and the ice skating was that event was actually part of the movie. The hockey. So all these different Olympic events that had happened just a few years prior to For Your Eyes Only in Cortina, they used a lot of those locations. The ski jump. That was a really cool scene with the ski jump in For Your Eyes Only, when Roger Moore goes off of the ski jump and just about gets knocked over.
Guarda, c'è un pazzo qua.
In a news story by NBC going over all the different areas of Cortina, there's a video on it. It's very fun to watch, if you're a Bond fan especially. They go around, and the news reporter in one scene points to the back, and he's like, yeah, if you look back here, that's the ski jump from 1957 that Bond jumped off of in the 80s for Your Eyes Only. It's that ski jump in particular is all beaten up now. It's in rough shape, but they left it there. It's a piece of history, and they've left it there, so you could see it still visually. It's really cool. The bobsled scene, so another Olympic event, and Bond is skiing down through that bobsled. They rebuilt that. They rebuilt it, and they're using it for bobsled competitions again. It doesn't look the same, but it's been rebuilt, and it's being used again. Trying to think of all the different, because there's, like I said, this is the most James Bond Winter Olympics you're ever going to see in your lifetime. Curling. If you get a chance to watch the curling, that's an event in particular that they said is going to be in that skating rink arena that was used in For Your Eyes Only. You see it in two different scenes. When Bond is introduced and he meets the young girl, and she's like, oh, Uncle Harry, can Mr. Bond take me to the skiing match later? And but that scene later, when Bond is attacked and there's a fight with hockey players, it's that same arena.
James! James, what took you so long?
For some reason, my whole life, I always thought that that arena was an inside. It was different from the skating rink, because that was all outside in the open. It was daytime. And when the hockey team's on there at night, I thought it was enclosed. It's not. It's that same arena. They just kind of set it up for hockey players. Well, that arena is being used for the curling competitions. And I just saw a little bit of the curling competition a little bit ago. And it was really cool, because you look up, you can see in the stands up there, you see all the same. It's all that same old wooden architecture that was there in the movie. It was there back in the 50s, 1957, that same wooden architecture, but they did enclose it now. It's a completely enclosed arena, all old on the one side that had existed, all new and modern on the opposite side where they enclosed it. So it's this really cool mix of the old and new and modern. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful to look at. Very exciting. Now there's scenes going on for just, I don't know, time filler while they're talking. The announcers are talking, things like that, or right before and right after commercial breaks of Cortina and the city, the mountains, the different landscapes, and you can see different spots that were in the movie. It's really, really cool to see. And I'm looking down here because I'm looking at some of the photos, because I'm sharing these photos, but I'm using them to help me remember what items I wanted to talk about as well. Tofan is the mountain, and it's become a famous mountain now for the women's downhill racing. Like supposedly it's supposed to be some of the most competitive women's downhill racing in existence. And Tofan is the mountain that they use that for. Well, Tofan is all over the place in For Your Eyes Only. That mountain, when Bond goes up and originally makes contact, he goes up to the top of Tofan, and then, but that's if I believe correctly, that's actually where Lindsey Vonn had her crash just recently, and so yeah, all these landmarks that were in For Your Eyes Only, all these different scenes. The ski chase with the motorcycles, the skiing down through the bobsled area, the ski jump where Bond makes that jump. That is still there, but that's just not currently used. But that ski rink, that's all enclosed now, being used for a curling, at least. That's the one event that I did know it's being used for. There could be other events that maybe it's going to be used for. I'm not sure. The curling, I believe that's the one that they have it all set up for now. But I just wanted to say, because there's still some time to see the Olympics, and I'm just like, oh, I got to make this video. I've got to get it out there, because just in case any of the Bond community or anyone who's a Bond fan wasn't aware of just how Bond this Olympics is, I had to get this out there so that you could just sneak a peek at it, or watch some videos on YouTube. That's what I did. I watched one video or a couple of videos on YouTube before the Olympics started. So they filmed these videos, and it was getting ready for the Olympics. They go through the town. They go through some of the different arenas. That's how I started noticing some of these things. You know, of course, I knew Cortina. I knew that was in the movie. I had no idea how much of it I was going to get to see in the Olympic coverage. So there you go. There you go. You got to check it out. The most Bond Olympics you'll probably ever see. And if you want to see more behind the footage of Cortina, I know David Zaritsky on the Bond Experience, he's got a video. It's like 7 years old, but he went to Cortina, goes to a bunch of the different filming locations, and it's really well done. You feel like you're there with him and getting to really check out the area. That's a great video if you want to see some things like up close and personal. That's a great video for that. But check out these Olympics. You're not going to regret it, just to see the scenery alone. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great time, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.